Alright, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, let's give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Wakakwadash, that honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching his truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Aqua that may listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Akwai. I'm back in here with another quick and, as always, an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I just wanted to do a little, continuation of a topic that we discussed in our live lesson a couple of days ago, GMS Toronto. And the title I have on the screen, it says, not just about videos, right? And sometimes, as you grow, into new stages in the truth, you learn that it's not, yes, videos slash lessons are a component of it, an important component of it, I should say. But there's more facets to this truth as time goes along in your experience within the ministry, right? So what I wanted to do, what I really wanted to do today, I really just wanted to touch on three particular topics, and hopefully, Yahweh willing, and this lesson may be edifying, right? So the first topic, I wrote down three here, and it's covered in the precepts I have listed on the screen, right? So I don't know if I'll touch on all of them. Some might, come to me in the spirit, but I wrote down a kind of idea of what something that was going through my mind, right? So the first topic I have is edification, right? So as a matter of fact, let's get the word, because let's get an understanding of what is being spoken of. I thought I would sit outside today. It sounded nice and cool, and it's kind of peaceful. Okay. Edification. It says the building up of the soul, a building construction, edification, good example, spiritual improvement. Right. So you see the importance of being spiritually improved. And one of the points I admired about, one of the points that I heard that one of the brothers out in England, he said, our people are essentially spiritually bankrupt, right? Because they don't have a certain level of, they don't have a rich, essentially they don't have a rich relationship with the Yahweh Bashim Shai. Really? That's really what it is. Right? And they don't have substance, they don't have character, they don't have morals, right? And that really comes with the first step. First off is by fearing the Most High and keeping His commandments, because pursuant to Ecclesiastes 12, this is the whole duty of man, right? So this is something that they don't have. Right, so edification is a huge part of it. Right, so let me go to the scriptures. I don't want to make the lesson too long. I just thought of these three points here, and I thought I would just use these 3 points to kind of hopefully edify as well, but to also show you there is more to the truth than just making videos. For example, if you're the type, if you're your lot to actually teach, right? So let's go to John. Okay, so this is John chapter 21, verse 15, and it says, so when they dined with Yahushua, saith to Simon Peter, Yahushua speaking, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? And he saith unto him, Yes, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. Verse 16, it says, He saith unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yes, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Verse 17, and he saith unto him that the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? He said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, Feed my sheep, right? So this is the importance of the edification, right? We feed essentially the lambs, we feed, the congregation with this knowledge, wisdom, this understanding. You get updates in regards to prophecies, you get updates in regards to, dreams, experience, character, history, whatever the brothers are, health, and this is all for the edification, the building up of that temple, right? The building up of the hopeful elect in these times, right? Because we notice that 2/3 of our people, we know, pursuant to the scriptures as well, that 2/3 of our people are not going to hearken, right? So what is being built up is that like it says in, I think it's Peter's 2:5, we building up a spiritual house, to roughly paraphrase, right? So this is all for the edification of the body, right? So edification is super duper important, right? So as a matter of fact, it's that precept. Okay, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 2, when it says, Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, right? So filthy lucre, we're not, when we preach and when we give this knowledge and share this wisdom and understanding, it is not to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not in the spirit of selling understanding, I should say. We're not in the spirit of selling breakdowns. We're not in the spirit of, trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to get more subscribers or subscribe to my Patreon. No. That's not the spirit that we're coming in. As a matter of fact, I believe it was Yahushua that said this in Matthew the 10th chapter. He said, freely received, freely given. So the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that has been freely given to us, we share that with the body. We share that amongst each other. We share that to, those people that come upon the street, when we're teaching, that are sincere, and that's been freely given. It's been freely given to us, right? So we're not gonna charge for it, and that is the mindset that we adopt, because one thing that is wicked about a lot of these other Israelite camps is that they charge for the understanding, right? And that's not biblical. It clearly says, I believe in Proverbs, buy the truth and sell it not, right? We're not supposed to sell this, right? This has been freely given to us, right? So okay, so that covers the edification part, right? So the next I wanted to talk about was prayer, right? Prayer is another portion that's also really important, and especially in these times, you always want to pray, because the one thing I always think about when I think about prayer, I think about, the love of many waxing cold, right? That it says in Matthew the 24th chapter. Here in Toronto, for example, there's been a lot of car theft, a lot of carjacking. So you see that play out in front of your eyes, right? As things become a lot more tight, economically. People losing their jobs. One thing I've also noticed was essentially a lot of these stores, they're replacing a lot of their cashiers with self-checkout. So there's no need for a lot of people not a cashiers essentially, to have that human interaction, right? So as things become, a lot more tighter, and companies are cutting back on, essentially humans, and they're replacing with more machines and eventually more robots, and things become more like automated, so to speak. You start to see a shift in people's character. That loving, care spirit. Oh, hey Bob, how's it going? Hey Jackie, I'm doing well, thanks. That spirit is slowly, drifting away, right? So one of the things, like for me, as a matter of fact, I don't want to make it about myself. Let me get the scriptures actually. Okay, this is Sirach 35, verse 16, and it says, He that serveth the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, shall be accepted with favor, and his prayers shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, till it come nigh. He will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High Yahweh shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment, right? So, we pray, we pray, pray before you pray for your food, pray to make it to your, when you go through your day to day, pray to, pray for a safe coming in and going out. We pray that the crafty counsel of Esau gets disappointed. We pray that the Lord has mercy. As a matter of fact, let me get that as well. That's another one. I didn't have that written down. Okay, Habakkuk 3 verse 2, and it says, O Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive the work in the midst of the years, in the midst of the years make known. Let's wait for this truck to pass. Okay, I'll read it again. This is Habakkuk 3 verse 2, and it says, O Lord Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years, and in the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy, right? So we want the Lord to remember us, during these times, right? And that's, when you think about it, like a good example of this, of how important prayer is, like when you go through the story of it was King Hezekiah. Now King Hezekiah, he had in his time here in his reign, he had an enemy named Sennacherib, and essentially this guy, I believe he was a Syrian, if I'm not mistaken. He was essentially kind of taunting, like, who's going to come and defend you, so to speak, right? So one of the things that King Hezekiah did, during that scuffle, so to speak, was prayer. He went up to go pray, and an angel of the Lord essentially smote I think it was 185,000 of his Assyrian soldiers, right? So just to show the importance of prayer, right? Because we know the impending evil that is coming upon the society, this kingdom, right? So you really don't want to go through a day without praying, right? Because like something as dangerous, for example, as driving, like it's insane, right? So it's always important to pray before you leave your house. That's really and truly what I'm trying to say, right? So okay, they also mention in the last precept humility. So another aspect, the third and last I wanted to focus on was the importance of virtue, right? So let's see. I believe it's 2 Peter's. Okay, this is Second Peter chapter 1, verse 5, and it says this, and besides this, giving all diligence, add unto your faith virtue, and unto virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. For if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of the Most High, of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, excuse me. Right? So, what it does, so in this few precepts here, it gives you different, different virtues. And one of the things I've personally observed while watching a lot of these red pill content, these manosphere content, one of the things they strongly harp on is financial success, and essentially, having six-pack abs, being 6 feet tall. They focus on a lot of things that are external. They don't focus on a lot of things that are internal, right? They don't focus on virtue, character, integrity, charity, brotherly kindness. These are the types of things, these are the types of conversations you don't hear from these podcasts, and there's many of them. There is a whole slew of them. It's all about getting your money up, trying to put a woman in her place, and have an abundance mindset and be a millionaire and all this kind of stuff. Like, okay, if the Lord blesses you with money, the Lord blesses you with money, you know what I'm saying? Because money is still a defense, right? But our people are spiritually bankrupt, like the point I was making earlier, and they lack a lot of these virtues, right? They don't have the character, right? We're supposed to be embodying, how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in that image and taking on that image of Yahweh Shai here down on earth, right? And this is something that the Israelite man does not focus on. They focus on a lot of carnal things and acquiring a lot of riches, and essentially in their spirit, they don't have anything rich in their spirit. Right? So, like, even for myself, like, I have some of these virtues I can work on as well, but observing that in the truth, going back to the title of the lesson, that there are situations the Lord will put you in to be able to exemplify. If you really think of it, you're really exemplifying Yahweh Shai in these different virtues. Whether it's humility, brotherly kindness, and another thing that I was thinking about is also servitude as well. And that's another thing, for myself, as you learn, because Yahweh Shai exemplified a lot of these virtues that we're reading about right here, right? So you have to, like I did a lesson recently in regards to the how symbolic it is to be washing the disciples' feet, right? Because you literally have to humble yourself. And I believe it was the Peter he was talking to, because you saying, you call me, and Yahushua was saying, you call me master, and you call me Lord, right? And he was essentially, what he was doing is giving them an example of how to be, right? And with each other. Then you shall know who are my disciples, right? By the way you carry yourselves and you treat each other, to roughly paraphrase, right? So virtue is another huge aspect of things, and some of these things, it may not just be in the brotherhood, but like within the ministry, so to speak, but it may also be with how you essentially carry yourself with, whether you live with siblings or a family or at workplace, because people would pick up on these things. They were like, oh, this guy's different. He doesn't carry himself the way like others carry themselves. The scriptures talk about how a man shall be known by his walk, right? So this changes the way you walk, not just physically, but how you walk and carry yourself, your conduct, your etiquette, right? So I guess another point is also reading, but scriptures talk about blessed is he that readeth, but I forgot to write that point down. But So I just want, yeah, that's pretty much, as a matter of fact, let me, because I mentioned the word bankrupt, let's get this last precept. Colossians. One second. Okay, Colossians 3 verse 16, and it says, "Let the word of Hamashiach Yahushai dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms, in hymns, in spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord." Right? So, what we learn about, the ways of our forefathers. We learn about Yahushai, began these things, and we, a lot of these virtues, we apply it, to our life, right? We apply it, practice these things amongst ourselves, and the Lord will put us in these situations to be able to, essentially rehearse the righteous acts, right? Because this is our culture, and we forgot to, and this is something we've discontinued from, right? So now we're coming back into this understanding, right? And practicing these things, right? So, anyways, I guess I'll leave it here, but I pray and sincerely hope this lesson was edifying. I just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Until next time, I say Shalom.